up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into the new Bunnies palette. So as you can see, I have the original Bunnies palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. Random side note, they are having a summer sale right now where you get 30% off. It does not include the Bunnies palette or either All I Ever Wanted. She had a list of things that it doesn't include. I'll try to remember to put it down in the description box down below. You can use a couple of my homies' codes, so you can either use my girl Beauty Frizz's code, which is Frizz Face, or you can use my girl, of course, you know, Miss Karen Harris. You can use code Cage Makeup to hook up your purchase. Wait, no, I'm sorry, you can't use those codes for this sale. There's a specific code you have to use. I believe it's summer. I actually got some stuff in my cart right now, so give me a second, I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, so you'll get 30% off the website. If this will open, please. Can you show my summaries, ma'am? Can we not be difficult right now? Embarrassing me on camera. Okay, so yeah, you have to use code SUMMER and you can get 30% off. But it won't work on Bunnies. It won't work on Don't Be Jelly. It won't work on All I Ever Wanted 1 or 2. So if you want to get those particular things, you can still use Karen or Beauty Frizz's code to get those things. And this palette as well. But they have 30% off code right now, and I surely will be, according to my cart, I will be buying Leather and Lace and In the Dark. Those are the two that are in my cart for right now, because I didn't get In the Dark when it initially came out in the palette set. I got Smells Like Holiday Spirit instead. Anyway, this is what the new palette looks like on the inside. As you can see, she's in her description video, she said she wanted it to be more pastel-y because it's eggs and bunnies, and you think of Easter eggs, which is what I thought too when it first came out, so I was confused about the color story. So she said when she redid it, she wanted to make more pastel-y and light. So I'll show you what the old one looks like compared to this one. So this is what the old one looks like versus new one. As you can see, there are more deeper tones in there. But I feel like she just made it where it's a good companion palette if you own the original Bunnies palette. So if you already have this palette, now you have a companion palette to go with it, because you have some lighter mattes to go with the deeper shimmer in here. If you're like me and like a deeper outer V but still want a light pastel on the lid, now you can put these two mattes on the lid and then pick one of these shimmers to put in your inner corner. So I think she did a great job with color transitioning, so that way you can use both palettes together and do a palette mashup. And then that way, you know, it warrants you buying both palettes, because if she had just put it back in this packaging and redid it, it wouldn't might necessarily warrant other people buying it. But since it's two different colors, then you know, you have justification now. Now I'm going to compare as usual. I have the Fun Size 2 palette here. I want to compare it to it. I feel like this would be a good companion palette for this palette, because you have, again, some of the deeper tones. If you don't have the Bunnies palette and you have this instead, and you want to get the new Bunnies palette, you can take some of these deeper tones in here and put here, like you got a deeper of this, you got a deeper purplish blurplish shade, and you have a deeper red to go with the cones that are in this palette. So it's a good companion palette for that. And I just ducked my nail in the yellow shade. Great. Next I have the Made by Mitchell Volume 1 palette. I ended up just getting this for like $17 literally a couple weeks ago with Beauty Bay, and I felt like it could be a possible good comparison, or just another companion palette, because again we have some deeper tones in here, then we have lighter tones in here, so you can combine both of them to get a nice little cute look. So there's that one. I actually have not used this one yet, but I haven't had it that long. I think I've maybe had it like 2 weeks, and since it's on the older side, I'm not gonna focus on the new stuff first. So the last thing I have to show, I don't feel like it's necessarily close to this palette. I just want to compare these shimmers to the shimmers in Bunnies. So I have the Tokyo palette from Nomad. I just want to compare the shimmers in to All I Ever Wanted. I mean, not to Bunnies. And I feel like they're both nice iridescent type shimmers. I know hers shift more than I believe these do, and it was already living here, so I figured I'd just show it alongside this one. So those are all the comparison palettes I have. I do have more pastel palettes. I just felt like this was more mid-tone pastel, not like true light super ashy pastel, so that's why I didn't want to compare both. So let me zoom you on in now, girl, so I can. This palette retails for $50. I probably should have mentioned that. So it's a $50 palette. Let me see, is there the same amount of grams on each palette, or is there more in the new one than there is in the old one? Let's see. Okay, so it says it's 24.5 grams in the old palette, and it's 24 grams in the new palette. So there's less in the new palette than there's the old palette, but it's only by 0.5 grams, so it's not too bad. I'm gonna go off camera now and try to give y'all a look. I'm thinking about just doing an all pastel look with these 3 shades right here. I think that might be fun. And then maybe just take this tulip shade and pop that in the inner corner. So I'm thinking that might be a fun look to try. So I think I'm gonna do that anyway. Let me go do something and I'll be right back, girl. Okay, girl, okay. Okay, so this is what I came up with. I told y'all I was gonna use all the shades. So I used all the shades. I ended up using the pink down here in the corner just to dust over the top of everything. And then I put Tulip and Hop in the corner to see that sparkle that you see going on now. So let's get into it. I don't know, I just feel like doing an all matte look for the most part. I'll probably do another look soon and just have, you know, do the shimmer. I was feeling the mattes. Those mattes I wanted to use, and I want to use them like in the way I normally do. Just put them all across the crease and then put on a shimmer shade on the lid. So I was like, we're going to do this instead. That's what we're doing. Yay. Like I said, I've been trying to switch up some stuff and change around some stuff and do stuff a little bit differently as opposed to always the same. Plus, I thought this would be a nice way to test out a few of the pastels and see how they work on someone my skin tone. Because I'm sure if you're my skin tone, you're curious to see how well they're going to work. So I want to make sure I, used them as many as I could to get an idea of how they work. I wish I got to use the blue and the yellow, but I'll try to use those in another look. I'm thinking about doing a blue, yellow, and green look. And then that's the way we can incorporate the yellow in there, because I'm really, truly curious about the yellow because of my skin tone in particular. But I'm trying to do that on Monday when I have to go to work. As long as it's not, too... as long as I wait too late to get up and do my eyes, because sometimes I wait too late and that's how you get not as many creative looks on Instagram on certain days. On certain days when Instagram look ain't like really creative or something, I had to get ready for work, girl, okay? There was no time. So I started off with the green shade, which is called Spring, and the shade we put in the crease was called Tulip. I'm sorry, Ribbon. So we're doing Spring now, then we use Jelly Bean and Carrot. So as you can see, I'm just patting it alongside. As usual, I'm trying to make my cat eye shape. So that's the only way I usually blend on the outer V. I'm trying to get the cat eye shape to be the shape I wanted to. And I'll like go back and forth like this just to shape it out. But I'm just trying to kind of pack it on, if you will. Because of the color and because it's pastel, I don't want to like blend it too much and then just blend away to nothing because of it being pastel and kind of light colored. I'm always concerned they're not going to work as well with my skin tone, so I'm like, trying to do what I can, girl, to make the shape work for my skin tone. I really thought the purple and orange did the best job, but the green actually did a pretty good job on the outer V as well, as far as like coloring for my skin tone and not fading away once I packed it on and just lightly brushed the edges of it. So, done with that shape. Now let's move on to Jelly Bean, which is the purple. Y'all know I had to use the purple. It's me, and it was a purple in the palette. You really thought I was going to miss the opportunity to use it? You were sadly mistaken if you thought so. So let's go ahead. As you can see, I'm only blending right here in the crease, and the rest of the places I'm just literally patting it on. And lightly blending across to have that airbrush effect we got going on the other side. And get on this side too, so that's why I'm gonna lightly doing it. Okay, now we're gonna take the shade Carrot, and I just took this pencil brush from BK Beauty. They be having a sale right now too, so I gotta make sure I order my brushes tomorrow. I was just lazy and didn't take my debit card out the car, which is another reason I haven't ordered from Unearthly Cosmetics yet. The palettes, I was telling y'all about this in my cart right now because they stopped taking PayPal, so I have to like ask to get my credit card out, and it's a whole thing, and I'm just like, I know that really sounds really bad, lazy, because I have the shop set up where you can buy stuff from there, but it's like I don't want to put stuff on my credit card because I already got stuff on my credit card from when I went to go see the weekend and went to the Margarita Fest with my friend the day before. So I'm like, I'm not trying to put everything on the card, like, calm down with the card, girl. Because I have automatic stuff that gets paid on there too, so it's like an extra expense. But luckily, we got an extra check this month because I get paid 3 times this month. So I'm just like, yes. So I'm just dusting purple in between here and the green and orange, and yeah, I'm liking the way that looks. I like. So let's put our inner corner shade in now. We're gonna start off with the shade Tulip. It was a lot lighter than I was expecting it to be, and I thought it was gonna have more pigmentation to it, but it's just ended up being really light. And I wanted something a little more color to it, and it seemed a little more iridescent, so that's why I went in with hot on top of it, because I feel like it gave a little bit of color. I mean, it was like more of a bright orange color, but I just wanted color instead of like the sheer iridescence I felt like the other shade gave me on its own. So take a clean brush and dust over everything. Now, I'm not going to do any lower lash line work just because I still have to film a battle of love. Y'all asked me for a battle of love between the Juvia's, Garden of Juvia's, and the Love Mine Ice Cream Dream. So that's why I'm going to put anything on lower lash line with this. I did bring one more palette to compare, the Hip Dot and Clueless palette. I feel like they're have a few similar shades. Like you see, they got both got the purples, they got the blues, they got the pinks. So that's them side by side. But again, to me, this is more companion palette, and I feel like they played it safe with this palette. But I love Clueless, so I'm gonna have it in my collection forever. So my thoughts on this palette. I feel like the metallics are nice and smooth. I feel like the mattes went on pretty well. I got the pigmentation I was hoping for. It's giving me vibes of the Liz McGuire palette kind of too, so I should have brought that with me. But I'll do that on Gel Beauty 87's Instagram. So if you follow Gel Beauty on Instagram like you should see it go up in my stories, and I always keep the highlights up so that way you always have comparisons to all the palettes I talk about, so you don't have to come back and watch the video. So that's a good way to get all the comparisons and keep up with all the comparisons of palettes that you've seen me do, because I always put highlights on Gel Beauty 87's Instagram, so go check them out. But yeah, I like this palette. If I had to compare the formulas though, I feel like the one in the old palette is a little bit more pigmented, but it could just be because it has the deeper tones in it. And since these mattes are deeper, they're going to go on more pigmented because they have that deeper coloring. I felt like with these I had to build them up a little bit, but because of my skin tone and the fact that it is pastel, it makes sense that I would have to do that. So there's that. But I still say I like the palette. I think this eye look looks stunning. I'm going to take some look at me and think I'm sexy pictures when I get done talking to you all. And I would say check it out if you're interested, because I think it's really nice. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are dimes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget about the 30% off sale. You use the code SUMMER, you'll get 30% off everything except for the new highlighter she came out with. Like I said, the Bunnies palette, the Don't Be Jelly, the All I Ever Wanted volumes 1 and 2, and it's one other thing, I don't remember what it is, but you can go to the Unearthly Cosmetics Instagram page, and she had a list of it, all the stuff that's not included in the sale. But like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all the diamonds. Let me know if you want me to do another look where I actually show all the shimmers on the lid just as opposed to in the corner, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.